Hugh?
I'm here today to talk about the dangers of using smoke grenades in dry grass fields. First, I'd like to tell you about a little adventure I had involving abandoned mental facilities. Hi, I'm Hugh S Intro, and I'd just like to talk to you about a few of the adventures I've had in my life, because I'd rather not do the past, present, future thing. I had a friend, let's call him Anthony. He comes over to my house about August 2012, and he says, "Hey dude, I've been reading about this thing called urban exploration, where you just go and you check out like abandoned places and you just explore them." And I'm like, "Dude, this sounds awesome. We've got to do this." So he's like, "Okay, when?" I'm like, "Why not just today?" And he's like, "What, really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do this. Right now, today." And he's like, "Okay, I've got an idea." You see, over on about the north side of Mount Pleasant, when Crawford becomes Crawford again, there's a clustering of abandoned buildings that, well, we don't actually know if they were mental facilities. We were told they were, and so we're just going to...
No, they were. It's the old state home, right?
Yeah, okay, then it is. We're like, okay, let's go over there, let's check these places out. It's gonna be awesome, it's gonna be so cool. Well, we ride over there, it's like 4 p.m. at this point. We get there, we're like, why are there people here? There shouldn't be people here. There's a dude, like, mowing the lawn, and 2 different park rangers came and went within that time period. We're like, whatever, we're still gonna check this place out. So we stash our bikes over nearby. And we sneak over, we're like, yeah, look at me, I'm so cool, I have on gloves and a hoodie. What? We get over there, every single entrance to every single one of these buildings is boarded up, except for one. There's a building shaped like a U. About 20 feet up, there's a catwalk that connected the 2 wings. On one side of the catwalk, there was a door that had, where a window was supposed to be just an empty hole. On the other side, that had been boarded up. That was the only opening in any one of these buildings. And we're like, well, we can't enter this now. They're gonna see us. So we're like, okay, we'll come back later. We're still checking the place out when we notice that there's a park ranger in between us and our bikes, and a dude on a lawnmower coming from the other direction. We're like, shoot, what are we gonna do, man? What are we gonna do? I kid you not, there was a grate about this big, and when you pulled it off, there was a little chamber underneath, about 3.5 feet high, 4 feet round. We're like, dude, let's just hide down here. We're on there for like 5 minutes, and we're like, I can't do this anymore. This is terrible. You know, I don't care if we're thrown in jail. So we get back out. At this point, the park ranger gone. We're just like, oh, thank God. Thank you, Jesus. So we run back to our bikes. We tell me and my brother and I, we tell our dad, we're gonna spend the night at Anthony's, and that's when we planned on coming back. So it's around 1 a.m. at this point. We've packed everything. We've got pliers, we've got hoodies, we've got hats and gloves and rope. I mean, we were like decked out. We're like, dude, we're so cool, man. Let's do this. Yeah. Well, we leave my road, and as we're on the main road, not even a half mile in, my older brother drives by in the car, and I'm just like, God, why did you do this to me? And then sure enough, I pull out my phone, and he's calling it. What do I do? What do I do? I call him. He's like, what the heck are you doing? Was that you? I'm like, we were just getting candy, I swear. We're just going to 7-Eleven for candy. And he's like, well, that's all you better be doing, because if it's not, I'm going to tell Dad, and you better be safe because drunks. And I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll be fine. And we're driving along. You know the trails that connect, like, High Street and Island Park, going through them? Well, we decided to cut through those because it would be faster. All we had was just a little flashlight with the top removed, so it was like a dome of light around us as we're driving through. Everything else was just completely pitch black. But around us was just a circle of this pure white light, and it was awesome. It was seriously one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. Eventually, we get to our destination, we stash our bikes behind this bush, and we just sprint across the lawn. We're like, oh Lord, let's hurry, we gotta go. We get over there. There's a ledge about 8 feet high, seems about right to me, around the inner lip of the building. First, Anthony goes up, and then because my little brother was too short at the time, Anthony has to like pull him up from the bottom while I lift him from the top so we can get him up onto this ledge. Then I get up on the ledge. There's a pipe that starts from that ledge, goes to the bottom of the top of the building, and Anthony climbs up this pipe, hops over onto the catwalk, ties a rope on so me and Sean can climb up the rope while using the building for our legs. We get up there, we pull out pliers, we yank out the glass shards in the door frame. And I kid you not, the second we were all in, a bat comes flying out, just starts screeching, whatever the heck bats do. I don't know. You can call the sound whatever you like. We're looking through this building, and it's one of the craziest things, like random like toys in places. In one part there was an air duct that just fallen down straight to the ground. You could potentially climb up it and go into the vent system. It was really cool. In the end we were like, well, let's not go into the basement because I don't want to die. But the rest of the building was pretty cool. At that point we're like, okay, this is pretty cool, but we're done. And at that point we're outside, we've shimmied down the rope to the ground. We're like, what are we gonna do with the rope? Because we can't untie it now. So then we just kind of like throw it up until it's like half hanging. We're like, no one's gonna notice that. Totally fine. I came back there about a year later. There was a new cameras, new signs, and like they noticed the rope. The only eventful thing that happened when we were driving home is this drunk guy came out of his house, started going, hey! Hey! And Anthony's just like, hey! Like that. We get home, we're like, well, that was fun. Go straight to sleep. This was actually the same friend that I was with when I was shot. There's no context to this story. We're just out in the woods, hanging around, me and my brother, him and I, when we see what is a poacher, because it's not in season, walking through the woods. We're like, yeah, whatever, maybe we should go. He starts coming towards us. We're like, okay, he's probably just going to tell us to leave. He's maybe 150 yards out at this point. I swear, he just points his rifle in our direction. Bang, 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 bang. We're like, what the freak is happening? Oh my God. And we just ran like hell. And it was really stupid, but we never even bothered to alert the police. So that ended without any sort of finality. Now, I promised I would tell you about smoke grenades in dry grass fields. This ball is actually a product of that. Hand it around, whatever you want to do. It was second Saturday, April. My brother just got his bracelet on. And we're like, it's been 8 months since we played airsoft. And the reason it had been 8 months is because the cops came to the last one. That kind of put a damper on things. Well, we were playing behind a community church in Mount Pleasant. We had permission. And it's pretty boring about halfway through. So my friend, he pulls out one of those fireworks smoke grenades you can buy over at like the reservation. And he's like, okay, let's spice things up. And I see the whole other team, they're like arguing, should we use it? I don't know, man, could start a fire. My brother's like, no, it's gonna be fine. Don't even worry about it, trust me. So my friend's like, all right, he tries pulling the tab, he doesn't do it. So Sean's just like, give me that. He grabs the thing, whoosh, whoosh, hits the ground, whoosh, and there go the flames. And I'm just like, oh. We start running towards it, and pardon the language, but we're just like, fuck, oh fuck, Jesus Christ. And I'm like, hit it with your fucking jackets. Jesus, oh God, we're gonna die. I thought we had it for 1 second, and then the wind picks up. And it just takes the thing, and I'm like, oh. And at this point, I should probably mention my dad is a firefighter. So we get back, and I'm just like, 911? Yeah, there's a fire. see my dad arrive, I'm just like, oh no. And then the whole time, I'm like telling jokes while they're like putting out the fire, and my friends are just getting pissed and pissed and pissed. And I'm like, this is how I handle stress. I tell jokes, okay? We ended up burning like 10 acres down, and we were within 60 feet of these people's homes. You could actually see an old guy out there watering the edge of his lawn, trying to keep the fire away. When my dad comes over to us, he is pissed as hell. And he's like, Sean, you're coming home with me. Daniel, you gotta go take Elijah home and pick up your sister. So me and Elijah, we decided to get fiery McChickens because we thought that would be ironic. And we're laughing the whole way home. We're like, this was hilarious. I am so dad. And my dad wasn't even mad anymore. He's like, yeah, I burned down a field as a kid. Whatever, it happens. I didn't get a single even day of punishment. I was just scot-free, and I was like, this is the greatest thing in my life, ever. And those are a couple adventures I've had. Thank you for your time.
Cool.